Hello student, welcome to the VVPS app. Children, I am your SST teacher Rekha Divedi and today I am going to teach you the new chapter, that is the judicial system. This is the civics chapter 5th. Here is given the summary of this chapter. So let us see what is judicial systems. Student, first of all, let me tell you that in our Indian constitution, government has been divided into the three power. The first power is the executive, second is the legislature, and the third is the judicial system that we will discuss about today. The judicial system, first of all, the judiciary is the branch of the government which administers justice according to the law. The term is used to refer broadly to the court, judges, magistrate, and the other support personally who run the systems. The court apply the law and settle disputes and punish lawbreakers according to the law. So this is the work of the judicial systems. So let us see here. The first topic is what is the role of the judiciary. So the judiciary is one of the three organs of the government and it protect the right and liberties to the people, check the arbitrariness of the government and protect and interprets the constitutions and maintain the supremacy of the constitutions. And the work of the judiciary can be broadly divided into the three parts. The first one is the dispute resolutions. Second one is the judicial review, and the third one is the enforcing the fundamental rights. So children, let us see the first point. The first one is the dispute resolutions. Sometimes we see that there is some problem created between the government, between the citizens. So this problem are solved in the disputes resolutions. So here it is said that resolving disputes is the primary function of the judiciary. It provides certain process of the mechanisms for resolving various kind of the disputes between the citizens and the government, and between the two state government, and also between one or more state government and the union or the central government. Now our second point is the judicial review. This is also the most important power of the Supreme Court and is the power of the judicial review. It means that the power of the Supreme Court to examine the constitutionality or otherwise of any law passed by the state legislature or the parliament. Through the judicial review is now where mentioned in the constitution. The power of the court is also declare any legislative enactment invalid that is expressly provided the constitutions under the articles 13. Now the third one is the enforcing the fundamental rights. Suppose if any citizens of India they had the power, they can directly move to the Supreme Court or the High Court if he or she believe that the fundamental right has been violated. So the citizen, they have the power, they can directly can move to the High Court or the Supreme Court for their appeals. So the Supreme Court and the High Court, they can give the special order called the rights to restore the right. And the power of the issue rights to restore the rights, the fundamental right is given by the constitution to the Supreme Court and to the High Court. But children, remember this thing is only happening in the Supreme Court and the High Court. Now our next topic is what an independent judiciary is. India has an independent judiciary. There is a provision for the separation of power, and the executive and the legislature, they cannot interfere in the work of the judiciary. So it is written in the constitution that both the power like the executive and legislature, they cannot interfere in the judicial systems. There is also a single unified and integrated system of the judiciary in India. And it is also necessary to have an independent judiciary so that the judge, they cannot discharge their duty without any fear or favor without any interference of the executive and the legislature. Means they have the full power. They can judge according to the what? According to the issues. Means they had the power that no one would fear or favor or they can do any interference in any of the issues. It does not mean that the judicially they can act as an arbitrary manners. It has to be follow the constitution in letter and spirit. It means to say that judge has the power up, but it doesn't mean that they can do anything. They had also to follow the rule of the constitutions. Now children, our next topic is the structure of court in India. The structure of the judiciary in India is a pyramidically with the Supreme Court. It means to say that the structure of the judiciary is like a pyramid. In the top it is the Supreme Court, and in the below it is the High Court and the district and the subordinate court at the lowest level. So the lowest court they are function under the district superintendents of the higher court, and these are the subordinate or the district court at the lowest level, and they are also usually at the district or the tehsil level, and they can also hear many kind of cases. Means the small cases is hearing in the district or the tehsil levels, and most of us interact with this court because first of all we go to the district or the tehsil court, and after that when we are not satisfied then we will go to the high court and the Supreme Court. So most of us interact with this court, and each state is divided into the several districts, and each district is also presided over by the district judges. This is about the court. Now here it is given our next topic. So different branches of the legal systems. It means to say that it was also divided into the different legal systems. So in here it is given that there are two kind of cases or disputes. It means to say it is divided into two parts. First one is the civil and second one is the criminal. So children, first of all we know that all the cases which are related to the property matter, issue related to the marriage or divorce, guardianships, inheritance, will, etc. This all fall under the category of the civil cases. And this Code of the Civil Procedure 1908 contain the broad parameter of the civil law. And now it is, if we can see in the criminal cases, so it comprises those that is related to the theft, murder, robbery, dacoity, rape, injury, etc. And they all contain an element of the violence and have very serious natures. And so this Code of Criminal Procedure in 1973, it also contained the broad parameter regarding the criminal cases. So these are the two part in which the cases has been divided. First one is the civil and second one is the criminal cases. It means to say that all the violences cases that were contained in the criminal cases. Now our next topic is origin of the PIL. PIL means to say a public interest litigations. So children, appeal is a public interest litigation that is introduced in the court of the law, not by the aggressive party but by an other private party or by the court itself. Such cases may occur where the victim does not have the unnecessary resources to commence a litigation or his freedom to move has been encroached upon. It means to say that suppose if a party is poor and she does not afford the lawyer and she doesn't have too much money to spend it, then he can appeal in the PIL. And filling a PIL is not a means to say cumbersome. Cumbersome means to say in a difficult as any other legal cases. And there have instances when every letter and telegram addresses to the court have been taken up as the appeal and heard by the court. So this is about the PIL. Our next topic is about the Lok Adalat. It was also started in 1985 to make the cheap and speedy justice available to the poor. So the first Lok Adalat that was organized in 1985, that is set up to record of clearing 105 cases in a day. And Lok Adalat is also presided over by the retired judge. And there are no advocate to plead their client cases, and the people involved in the disputed pleads their own cases in the Lok Adalat, and it reduced the cost as well as the time consumed in fighting the court cases. So in the Lok Adalat, first of all, there has been judges by the means all the judgment was given by the retired judge. Second thing, there is not too much money invested in here. It is also reduces the cost, and the time is also very short taking here. So it is also very popular. So children, this is about the judicial systems. If you have any type of doubt or any type of question you want to ask, then please ask me. Okay, thank you students.